Hello and welcome to another episode of PodcastDX, the show that features interviews with patients and healthcare providers and timely health topics that affect people today. I'm Lita.
And I'm Ron.
And I'm Jean Marie.
Collectively, we are the hosts of PodcastDX. On today's show, we are speaking with Jamie Ward. Jamie was born with a rare disorder known as Vader syndrome, V-A-T-E-R. Children born with Vader syndrome can have congenital abnormalities of the vertebrae, lower intestine, trachea, esophagus, and kidneys. She was born with abnormalities in all of those areas, and she has had over 45 surgeries and or medical procedures since her birth, including surgeries to reconstruct her esophagus, trachea, and lower intestine, and to fuse several vertebrae in her spine. One of her kidneys disintegrated, and her remaining kidney does not fully function. She has been very fortunate throughout her numerous hospitalizations and surgeries to have had the support and love of family, friends, doctors, and nurses. Welcome to the show, and we're really looking forward to hearing more about you, Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So to start off, Jamie, please tell us about your background, I guess, and why you chose to help others through your organization, your charitable organization. It's Jamie's Dream Team, correct?
That's correct. So I was born with the Vader syndrome. I've had over 45 major operations since birth, as she said, and I wanted to help others with illness. When I was 15, I went in for a surgery, and I had said, when I come out, if I come out, I want to help others, and I want to make a difference. And when I was 17, I graduated high school.
So what I missed I don't have my hearing aids in today. What was the 30,000?
She's granted over 30,000
wishes?
dreams, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Excellent. Wow. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Jamie, could you tell us about some of the individuals whose dreams that you have helped come true?
Absolutely. So, most recently, we have done baby Nora. So Nora is 18 months old, battling cancer, and it's terminal. And she wanted to go to the beach. So her family wanted to take her to the beach to make memories. She spent her whole life since day one in the hospital. So we took her to the beach, and not only did she go to the beach, but her family was able to get photos, professional photography taken, just to capture those memories.
And what sounds like a very simple thing really is impactful. I mean, that is so strong of a statement to give those parents memories that they'll be able to enjoy in the future rather than pictures in a hospital bed.
Right.
I love that so much.
Thank you. Well, another dream that we have done is Megan. We did her wedding. She had breast cancer. She's a breast cancer survivor currently. And she was, I believe she was 23 at the time. And she was going in for surgery, and she was planning her wedding. They just got engaged, and I had said, we'll do your wedding. We did an absolutely beautiful wedding for her and her husband. It brought her family together. They were absolutely amazing. And until this day, she helps us every which way she can and gives back.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's an impact that has ripple effects then, yeah, which is lovely.
Absolutely.
And Jamie, do you hold regular fundraising events, or how is it that people can help and contribute, or help support your mission?
Absolutely. We hold fundraising events. We also look for corporate donors, sponsors, private donors, anything helps.
Okay.
Okay. So I saw on your website, Jamie, that there's a recent case called Aubrey Strong. Is this something, a typical case that you would take on, or is she related to you in any way, or what's the story with this?
No. If you've heard Aubrey's story, she was in a horrific car accident recently with her dad and her siblings. Her dad and siblings passed away. At the scene, she was pronounced she was not here, and she made it through. When we heard this story, I immediately went to the hospital and met with her and tried to find out what would make her happy.
Mm-hmm.
What could we do for her?
And how old is Aubrey?
Aubrey's 11.
11. Okay. So what was that meeting like for you in the hospital?
It was heart-wrenching to see her. Once the hustle bustle of getting better and getting out of that hospital, what her and her mother were going to face.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a horrible.
Well, yeah, it's, I guess, not easy, but it's easy to see, like the physical scars of something like that and try to put the person back together, but putting your life back together and dealing with, the mental, the psychological aspects of that are, that's not something that can heal easily.
No, for sure.
And I say, it is one thing to, the community has been so amazing. The whole world has rallied around her and her mom. But what happens when they go away?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
And they move on with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every little bit that you can help, I'm sure, helps them in their journey of healing. Where
Absolutely.
without
and just
you,
knowing people are there for them.
yeah, without you, I mean, it would have been a little bit different and a little bit worse. So every little bit that you do is wonderful. How do people find you, or do you always find them? And another question is, does everyone get highlighted on your website as you're taking care of them, just like Aubrey Strong?
So people know what support
right,
they
like
can
what
lend.
you're working on currently? Is that how you work?
Yes and no. If it is a dream that we are doing and we can turn around quickly, like sending someone to Disney or Give Kids the World, we don't usually highlight them because we can turn that around fairly quickly. But something that is a little more complex or an emergency,
Mm-hmm.
because we're not a large foundation that gets, I guess, unnecessarily a lot of exposure, a lot of funding, but we do as much as we can, and we do not turn anybody away.
Okay.
We try not to. We don't put them on waiting lists.
Okay.
So if they meet our medical criteria and they meet what our mission, then we do the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fantastic. Kind of answer some of the questions I had. But so far, Jamie, how many people do you think, or how many people have you assisted with your foundation to date? And
Well over 30,000.
Over 30,000.
okay. And I guess a follow-up to that is, are there any that really stand out? You just mentioned, Aubrey and
Nora.
Nora, the 18-month-old infant. Are there any others that stand out to you, or that just really touched you more so than?
There's two that I can really think of. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has touched me. But one that's really heavy on my heart, yesterday I actually it was the day before, I got a call that they think that he's going to pass. And I went from Pittsburgh, jumped in my car, and drove to Cleveland to be with his family immediately, which is a 3-hour drive. And that was Aiden. Aiden is a young boy who has pancreatic cancer. And he wanted to meet YouTubers. that he
Oh,
follows.
Okay.
okay.
And we took him to Dallas. And the YouTuber and the community just rallied around him and made it so special for him. Leon Hart was his name, and Preston Plays. They absolutely made his life like something to look forward to, something to just keep working. And yesterday when I went and seen him, he was really, really bad. He was incoherent, up and down. And when they said, "Hey, look, Jamie's here. Do you remember her?" He said, "Yeah, she took me to meet my YouTuber."
Oh, that's nice.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
The fact that no matter what, the
The
memory's still stuck. So that goes to show
Yeah.
you what an impact you're making.
We went to Dallas and we shared a funny but not funny story with him. And I was just trying, because the parents were so eager to, like, keep his mind going and just trying to get him where they need him to be.
Right.
And I said to him, "Aiden, do you remember when you vomited out of the car?"
Oh.
And and it was in the middle of the night. We're in Dallas. I can't find a car wash. Remember what I did?
What did you do?
And he said, "Yes, I remember what you did. I went and I drove through, the sprinklers at the hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
I drove back and forth and back and forth."
Okay.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
And he laughed. And I looked over and his parents started crying because it was just a glimmer of hope for them.
Yeah, to see him laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
And now he is on life support, fighting.
Do most of your gifts?
Recipients?
Yeah. Most of your experiences with your clients include photography, so that you can pass that on to the parents
Or family
Yes.
or friends.
or family and friends. Right. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
In-
I'm just
Another-
thinking that that's such a big part of all of this. Maybe having a professional photographer as part of your team
or if there are any professional photographers out there who want to donate,
who want to donate
a bit
time.
of their time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just trying to think of a side hustle here that we might be able to help you with. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that I have some links on your page asking
anyone
for
who's
the type of
interested.
help that
Yeah.
you need. So we'll go over that list in a bit. Thank you.
There was another little girl that I'm thinking about that she wanted a computer. We do 4 programs, and we do a Christmas program. And she wanted a computer. And the reason she wanted a computer, so we got her the computer, we gave it to her. She was from out of state. She was here on a transplant.
Oh, okay.
And we gave her the computer. Well, the next Thanksgiving, the family called me, and they said, "I'm thankful for you." I said, "Well, thank you." They said, "No, she passed away, and she documented everything on that computer and wrote all
Oh,
of us
wow.
letters."
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's how you know that you were touching these children.
Right.
That's how you know you're touching these families for the rest of their lives. That's what keeps you going.
Wow. Very touching.
Well, yeah, and speaking of that, how does helping others affect you personally? Because you've been through quite the medical journey. So how does it affect you mentally and emotionally? And how can others volunteering help their own, like it has ongoing effects, not just for the person you're helping, but how can it help the person who's actually doing the volunteering and helping others? I don't know if I quite made that clear.
like
I
we
know
have-
what you mean.
Okay.
yeah.
I think there was 2 questions in one.
Yeah.
But let's just go with the first one first. In many ways, I have a 4-year-old, and it makes me appreciate every single moment, everything with her, every jump she jumps, every smile she smiles. And it makes you appreciate life and makes you live your life to the fullest is the best that you can. And encouraging everybody else to do the same around you.
That makes sense.
Great. So
Because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Right.
that is so true. What I wanted to ask, Jamie, you do a lot of amazing things for others, but at the onset, we mentioned that you have the Vader syndrome. What support have you received growing up? What role have your friends and family played? And then as a follow-up to those, how about your friends and family helping out with your charity for others? I know it's a lot of questions all in one, sorry.
And Ron is squeaking his chair, and Lita is opening candy wrappers. So I'm sorry if that was distracting at the same time.
You're fine.
Okay.
My family's been absolutely incredible. My parents have always taught me, never were treated me any different than my sister. I have a sister. And they never treated me any different than hers. And I believe when you have a child with a illness or a disability, you shouldn't treat them different because then they're going to be different. So she taught me, my family has been absolute back support. I had a best friend in high school, and I only have one kidney, as we said, and I pee in my pants all the time.
Okay.
Well, at that point, she would throw water on her pants too. We'd go to the principal's office and we'd leave. She'd drive me home to get changed, and then we just made the best of it. And from this day, even to this day, I appreciate her for that more than anything.
That's wonderful.
And as far as Jamie's Dream Team, my family is 100% involved.
Okay.
And so are my friends. And then I meet several people along the way in this organization to become my family as well.
Understood.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Jamie,
The first little girl that...
have you heard of Social Health Network?
No.
It's an online community. I'm going to send you a link. I think you would be a perfect match in there for every part of your organization's life.
It's just,
Thank you.
it helps some. And you were saying about one of the first individuals that you were able to help?
Mallory, her mom, her parents are my daughters. She passed away.
Oh.
But her parents are my daughter's godparents.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So, and I met her just because she was sick.
Right.
And what tips, hints, or advice do you have for somebody who wants to be able to help others?
Come join my team.
No hesitation there.
Come on, we'll take y'all. We go near and far everywhere.
Okay.
Great. That is great.
Well, Jamie, I know this has been a very brief interview, but I think it's been very impactful. And we really do appreciate you taking the time because we know you are very, very busy. How can our listeners learn more about you, Jamie's Dream Team, and your next fundraising event?
They can visit our website, or they can also visit us on social media.
Okay.
We post a lot on Facebook,
Okay.
or they can just give us a call.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that we have links for that on our website.
So if you have any questions or comments related to today's show, you can contact us at PodcastDX@yahoo.com, through our website, PodcastDX.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, or Instagram, and even X, right? Are we on X?
X, yeah, and TikTok,
Okay. Cool.
everywhere.
You're on TikTok too?
Yep. Not
We're
a
starting to
big.
get a TikTok.
Yeah, we're not a
presence,
big
too.
TikToker?
TikToker, but we're weaseling our way in. If you have a moment to spare, please give us a review wherever you get your podcast.
And you were saying that you're just joining the TikTok community?
Well, I mean, I sit there and scroll all night long, but yeah, I just was like, I need to do this too.
Hey, I guess that's a big part of it, right? Because you have to have an audience for all of those videos.
Yep.
So, yeah. As always, please keep in mind that this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health care provider with any questions you may have regarding a healthcare condition or medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regime, and never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you've heard on this podcast.
Till next week.